and welcome back to the Gamer Muscle YouTube channel, and this another video on ACC. In this video I'm going to be talking about the dynamic dampening setting found in the force feedback settings in ACC and explain what it seems to do and how I got this dynamic dampening setting completely wrong and where I got confused and where I think it might be confusing some other people. Now, a little bit of backstory from the historical annals of ACC. When ACC first came out, the game was released with force feedback that was rather sluggish, dampened, vague, and confusing to people like Gamer Muscle. Now, in version 0.2.0, the force feedback is responsive, makes sense, and just works how you would expect force feedback to work. However, I erroneously thought that the dynamic dampening setting was the setting that controlled the effect that was in the previous version that was causing it to be all sluggish. So I just turned dynamic dampening down to 0, thinking that 100 on that will make it play like version 0.1.0. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. It turns out, having fiddled with some settings and done more driving in ACC, the dynamic dampening setting can indeed be put at 100% and indeed should be put at 100% and does not work like traditional dampening. It doesn't just make the wheel sluggish like your bog standard profile dampening, which incidentally doesn't affect AC and ACC. But separate to that, it doesn't work like your bog standard super dampening that you have in other simulators. This is different. This is different dampening. So, with a bit of excitement, we'll go to the track having put the dynamic dampening to 100%. And also keep in mind that I am using a small mage direct drive wheel, which has insane force feedback. The 100% might not be suited for a T300, a G29, G27, G25, a CSL, whatever. It might not. You might want to change it down a bit or up a bit or whatever for other wheels. But at 100%, with the wheel I'm using, something magical happens, and we're going to try and describe it whilst driving. And I'll probably fail at describing it because you can't really describe force feedback, but we'll give it our best, guys. Let's get driving here. So, hopefully you can see the wheel in the video. I'm going to go to a view that lets me control the car, which is lower bonnet view. I can't drive with the view further back. I'm going to turn the traction control off. Come on, traction control off. There we go. And let's pull away in our Bentley. Now, no doubt I'm just going to lose control and spin around like a lunatic because I'm trying to actually describe something, and that's normally what happens when you try and describe things. But what is the crucial difference in the force feedback handling with it at 100% dynamic dampening? Well, the biggest difference is that it makes the car actually have force feedback that's like a real car, especially when it comes to when you get into larger slides. Now, obviously, you don't really want to be drifting a GT car, especially if you're trying to do a fast lap. It's not productive. So, normally, you're actually just trying to be nice and tidy and nice and in the groove, balancing it on the limit. But the key thing is now, that's over-egging the throttle, the key thing is now, when you get into a slide with this dynamic dampening setting to 100, when the back comes out, the car holds the force feedback, holds the car correctly for the amount of grip that the rear's got in the slide. So rather than previously with it on 0, the force feedback would just instantly pull the back round and try and straighten the car up in a rather sharp, abrupt fashion. What's happening now is that it's like a real car. If you watch onboards of people drifting or just driving in real life when they get a bit more slip, or if you've driven a rear wheel drive car and you get into a bit of a slide, you notice that it doesn't just super aggressively straighten up. It's when you come off the gas, you can hold it in a degree of a slide and work with that to some extent. So I'm trying to sort of demonstrate it here, but I honestly don't think it's going to come through in the video. But you just have to try it for yourself. It totally... It changes the dynamics of how you actually recover and work with the car in a slide. What I've also found is now driving with the traction control off, I'm just going to try and drive sensibly. When you drive with the traction control off now, in terms of the force feedback correction, it's a lot easier because the wheel's not trying to throw the car out. The wheel is trying to help you as a driver keep the car stable. Now, I would say I think the tyres are still more abrupt than they are in Assetto Corsa. So you do have to watch out a little bit more for giving it too much. But it's night and day over the version 0.10, but also if you don't have any of the dynamic dampening setting on, it really does have a very positive effect on the nature of how the car handles due to the nature of how the force feedback actually affects the handling of the car. Which one of the things is that a lot of people are like, oh, force feedback's not important. it's an effect. It's you know, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm in the minority, but force feedback for me is one of the most important aspects of a driving simulator. Another useful thing, we'll squeeze it into this video whilst we're here, is if you're finding the cars really hard to catch because they're too vague in terms of the movement, in AC you didn't have a steering ratio setting that you could change. Obviously you've got that in R Factor 2 and some of the other simulators, but in AC you couldn't change it. Now in this, you could turn it down will make the steering more sensitive in ACC, steering ratio, but we've been locked out of the ratio here. What's that about? Oh, there we go. I found 10 to be too sensitive. The interface is hating my mouse here. 10 is too sensitive, but sort of 12, 13, really, really nice. So we'll go with that again. Let's get back on the track here. Let's start driving again. But really, I just really recommend trying out these settings. Give it a go. Give it a little bashy bollard. And enjoy. Let's try and do a smoothish lap here. Oh no! cut the circuit here. You just feel like you can work with the car so much more. Force feedback, guys. Maybe I'm just weird, as I say, but it is so important. Maybe not for alien lap times, you know, and it being like crazy fast, because at that point you're driving beyond the force feedback. You're driving like some kind of inhuman monster. But for people that approach a simulator as you expect real cars to drive, and drive from feel, which is literally how people drive sports cars. Like, it is all it's driving from feel. It's like the first thing that if you did like a race driver training course, it'd be like listen through your bottom, listen through your bottom to what the car's telling you, and feel what the car's doing, and then respond to that. Don't overdrive the car. Don't overpush it. Work with the forces that are coming through your bottom. It's all about the forces coming through your bottom, guys. But that's driving. And in my opinion, force feedback is the only thing that can deliver that, unless you've got some insane motion rig. And so it's just so important. I mean, so much better. Still feels like traction control's on to an extent here. I'm not sure what's going on. The car feels like it's bogging down a little bit. I'm going to put traction control on 1. So we actually have traction control on. But it just makes you want to drive more, guys. It just makes you want to drive more. Starting to feel the maybe the AC magic in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Can you believe it? The AC dream. As you guys know, I'm a total Assetto Corsa fanboy. Like next level Assetto Corsa fanboy here. Just the stability that's coming through the wheel, and just I'm not having to drive. The car is driving for me, and that's so satisfying, because it's not like all battling with the simulator trying to work out what the hell's going on. It's like, here's what's going on, here's what's coming through the wheel. Now it's your choice to work with that and enjoy it. I'm feeling the magic, the kudos magic, guys. Okay, well, you know, I mean, hopefully this video has made it clear. Dynamic dampening setting is not traditional dampening. I mean, look at you, can just total overdrive there. You see, the importance of this as well is for total drifting it. You don't want to drive like this. Oh! You shouldn't be driving like that. It's not fast. But the point is, when you're in a race with other cars, and you know you're absolutely caning it, and you're really pushing each other, the guy you're racing against or the girl that you're racing against, you're pushing each other. Both of you are going to be making stupid mistakes because you're concentrating on defending. You're pushing the brake points. You know, you're taking it to the absolute limit, and you need to have these realistic aspects of car dynamics to allow for that aggressive driving, to allow for you to drive off a singular line, to not have to drive off a completely rote memorized approach to the race circuit. You have to have this actually realistic nature of car handling and car stability. So, you know, this just makes me hugely optimistic for the online racing in ACC, like battling really close to people, driving like a lunatic. But also, once you've got this margin of error that you can recover from, it means you can overdrive initially and then dial it in a bit and bring it back until you're actually up to pace with the driving and doing good competitive laps. But I mean, there you go, guys. I mean, I've talked for 14 minutes about it. I think that will do. That will do. Needless to say, I'm a lot happier with the. Let's try and drift this corner. I'm a lot happier with it. It's nice how on the low traction control settings, it does give you the freedom that you'd expect. Bake those tyres! Oh my god. Again, that's not going to get fast lap times, and you shouldn't be drifting race cars or GT cars, but it should be possible, and it is possible in Assetto Corsa Competizione with the right settings. Hallelujah. Praise the pizza. That'll do. Click the subscribe button, like and all that business. Throw spaghetti at my face. I don't care. I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know when it will be, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, thanks for watching, and goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.